assumption when people find out that you're pregnant, that the appropriate response is congratulations, you must be so happy. Many women are really happy about being pregnant, but obviously some women aren't. It may not have been their choice. They may be worried about the circumstances that they're bringing the baby into. So it's not always a happy event. For some women, they're in a relationship that their partner's not supportive and is making them feel degraded, maybe isolating them from their family or friends. Women may not be in control over their lives, over the small decisions, the big decisions, and they may really worry about bringing a baby into that situation. I think for women who are in an abusive relationship, they may worry about their ability to provide the kinds of love and support that their baby needs, while at the same time trying to keep themselves and their baby safe from an abusive partner. It's really sad, but in some circumstances, an abusive partner may want a woman to become pregnant in order to be able to control her more. She's told, you need to take it easy. You need to have a hot bath every night, go for walks, take some time for yourself, relax. If that's what her healthcare provider has told her to do, and she can't do those things because she's in an abusive relationship where her partner has certain expectations of her and doesn't want her to take care of herself. Her partner wants her to take care of him. Then she may feel that she can't go back to that doctor because she hasn't done what she's supposed to do. Research shows that women who develop postpartum depression, for some women that's due to their experiences in the healthcare system and in giving birth. We also know that women in abusive relationships are much more likely to develop postpartum depression, which is not surprising given that it's, as with most mental health issues, it's not that you're crazy at all. It's that you're dealing with crazy circumstances. And, being in an abusive relationship can really mess with your head. And that's the point of what your partner's trying to do. He's trying to make you feel like you have no other options and that you don't deserve better. Women are often in a relationship for a long time before they realize that it's an abusive relationship. Abusive partners come across as so charming at first and so wonderful, and you just can't believe how lucky you are to have met this person, and often things move pretty quickly, and the next thing you know, you're living with this person or married to them, and maybe having a baby with them before you really start to see that you're kind of trapped. Your partner may have told you that you'll never find anybody else. You've been made to feel like you really don't deserve better. You'll be alone. Nobody else could possibly love you. You're lucky to be with this person. Economically, you may feel very trapped in the relationship. Your partner may have control over the finances. You may know that to leave is to live in poverty. Research that's been done with abusive men have shown that they consider themselves to be central, superior, and deserving in the relationship, which of course makes you peripheral, less than, inferior, and not deserving of anything better. Lots of people talk about the cycle of violence, which includes the tension stage where there's a build-up and women know that there's going to be an explosion at some point in time. And that's where women describe really feeling like they're walking on eggshells. And then there's the explosion. And that may include physical abuse, but it may not. It may just be an emotional reaction. Often women describe threats and intimidation is much more scary than actually being physically hit. It's that sort of waiting and not knowing that can be really scary. And then the third part of that cycle of violence is the honeymoon stage. And that's where women feel, okay, he's back to his normal self. This is the man I fell in love with. It's going to be okay. And the reality is that's part of the abuse. It's part of keeping women feeling a sense of hope that, the man that they fell in love with may still be inside there, that, that's when there's promises that he'll change, that, everything will be wonderful again. And that's what keeps women, that's another thing that keeps women in abusive relationships. So living in an abusive relationship can affect all aspects of a woman's health. Every single system in her body can be affected. And it's, a very small part of that is from acute physical injury. The major thing is just living in constant fear and stress. And that can affect every aspect of a woman's health. There's actually even been some links to ovarian and uterine cancer related to violence against women. It's not clear the etiology of that, but again, just the living in constant fear and stress can have effects on every aspect of your health and well-being, your heart, your lungs, your head, your digestive system, everything. So what can you do if you're in an abusive relationship? The very first thing is to realize that it's not your fault. It's nothing that you've done. You don't have bad taste in men. You haven't picked this. You haven't chosen the abuse. It has nothing to do with who you are or past experiences or anything. It's not your fault. And realizing that you don't deserve this is so key. And also realizing that you're not alone. I think that first and foremost, just beginning to imagine your life without this abuse and to know that you don't deserve it. And to just begin to imagine a future where this isn't part of your everyday life. And to not be afraid of that, afraid of being alone. The reality is that you can have so much love and support in your life if you're able to escape from this relationship. For most women, the process of leaving an abusive relationship is a pretty long one. Your partner doesn't want you to leave. The reality is that he or she is getting a lot out of abusing you. And so it's not always a really simple case of just walking out the door. Women really do need to think about their safety when they're thinking of leaving. Here in BC, you can phone or access through the internet Victim Link BC, which will connect you with a range of services. It's anonymous, it's confidential. You don't need to take any action when you call, but just know that there's people there who understand and support you and can listen to what you're going through and provide you with some emotional support. And then when you need to, there's practical supports in place. So there's transition houses in our province that women can escape to and really just find support through their family and friends. And one of the most important things is just to find somebody that you trust and to talk to them about what you're going through. It's hard enough for a woman to escape an abusive relationship when she's not pregnant or she doesn't have a young child. But when you're pregnant or you have a young baby, suddenly you need so much more practical support, financial support, and so on. And so it can be just so much more difficult for a woman to escape abuse or violence when she's pregnant or when she has a young baby. What often happens is that, we care about a woman, we see that she's in an abusive relationship and we want to help her, and we can end up recreating those dynamics of abuse if we tell her what she needs to do. We tell her, if we're trying to control her because we care about her, we're still controlling her in the same way that she's being controlled in her relationship. So as hard as it is to just step back, that's what we need to do, and not tell women what to do, but let them know we care about them. We're there for them at any time of the day or night if they need to talk, and that we're not going to judge them. And just really letting her know, like, no matter what happens, we're there for her is so key. So women in abusive relationships are often dealing with the day-to-day, with the minute-to-minute, just trying to keep themselves safe. And so helping them to see, to think about a future where things might be a little bit different and they can feel safe and supported and loved, and that they can be themselves again. Asking the kinds of questions that can help a woman see a different future, I think, is really